This is your starter and how it should be growing. Okay, girl, it's time to make some bread. I'll send you my recipe, but you need a kitchen scale if you don't have one. And you can see that it has definitely grown. And it's really bubbly and foamy. Really, even more foam is great, but as long as it's bubbly and it's grown, that means it's active. And it's going to actually get more active once you add it to more flour and water in the dough. So I'm making 8 loaves. And so I'm going to do 600 grams of starter.
Mama,
And it's very marshmallowy. That is what you want. It's kind of like marshmallow fluff.
Mom, he's back in.
Okay, buddy. Thank you. We're getting close. That's why I needed a lot, because I'm making 8 loaves. Trying not to go over. I went a little bit over, but it's only 7 grams over. It doesn't bother me. So there's my starter. Okay, I've canceled out or teared out my scale back to 0. Now I'm going to add my water, which is 2,520 grams of water. Okay, this is my water and my starter. Yours will look a lot smaller, but I like to mix it up before I add my flour and salt. Okay, now it's time for flour. And I need 4,000 grams of flour. So, start by measuring. I hope I have enough. I did buy a new one today, but oh, don't get crazy like me. I usually do 1,000 grams at a time in here, and then I dump it in a big pot. And I'm gonna do 1,000 more until I get to 4,000. Oh, and that was way too much, so just got a little bit crazy. Alright, so that's 2,000. I'm gonna mix that and then add the other 2. So I like to kind of mix it in because the water gets trapped up under there. And I'll show you what it's going to look like at the end of your first mix in. Okay. Sometimes I'll add my salt in between, depending on how many loaves I'm making. So I'm adding it in between the flour. So I'm doing 80 grams of salt. Right on the money. So 80 grams. I'm going to kind of sprinkle it in. That way it gets a good mixture into the base. And then I'm going to add my last 2,000 grams of flour. So this is very, very wet dough, but it's going to get drier as I add more. And it gets very heavy with making bulk loaves. So yours will be a whole lot easier with just one. Okay, I finally finished mixing this big bowl. And this is how you want the first kind of dough to be. Let it be kind of shaggy like this. Okay, I put a wet towel on top, and this is what it looks like after about 20 or 30 minutes. Now I'm going to smooth it out, and I'll show you that. I like to use one of my hard, smooth spatulas. It's hard to maybe show on video, but I like to pull and smooth. And kind of pull over and smooth. And then I have this little tool I'll show you that I like to use. We have it for our baking, but it's a great scraper tool. It helps me. I also like to use this as my smoother, and I can scrape the edges and kind of pull yours will be a whole lot easier, so you probably won't need like a scraper necessarily. So after I get this done, I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes, and it's going to sit here, and I'll do my first stretch and fold after that, and I'll do that on the video. So I just want it kind of smooth like that. Don't have to be perfect, it's just really mixed in there. Okay, girl, so I'm trying to do this as best I can. I like to wet my hands, and I use my scraper and pull. This is a stretch and fold. Yours is going to look a lot easier. And then I turn bowl, and do it as tight as I can. The third and fourth are always a little tougher because you've already kind of stretched the dough. Alexa, stop timer. But because it's the first one, so I pull up and fold over the top. Other people have other methods, like if you're using a glass bowl, this is where it gets harder. But you just do the best you can and fold over, and then that one's done. And I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes again. All right, girl, this was after 3 stretch and folds, and we're going to see where it ends up in about 3 or 4 hours, and then I'll show you those steps. Okay, this is where it ended up after the night. Okay, this is your last loaf, and this is what I do with it. Kind of sticky, but I stretch it out. This adds a little bit more bubble in your bread and aeration. So I bring everything to the middle, then crisscross on both sides. Then I flip it over and pull under the sides. Use my scraper tool to tighten the top of the dough. Kind of spin and pull towards you. You kind of get the hang of it as you go, but you want it to be as tight as possible. Then you flip and put in your bed. Here you're taking it out of the fridge after the overnight and scoring it. So I use rice flour because it's lighter and it doesn't stick as much. Then I score and bake.